Oh, yeah.
Okay, so
We are going.
we are good to go. All right, so we are going to be talking about HTML tags and all of the fun amazingness that comes with that. Now, more specifically, what we wanted to be talking about had to do with HTML tags. Um, you don't have to tell. That has to do especially with the camera, the video, and the audio. Those are kind of the main things that we wanted to talk about specifically. But I just wanted to first off talk about basic HTML tags. And as you can see on the top, this is heading 1, and it all goes all the way down to all the different possible headings, and there's 6 of them. So you can see the different sizes of those 6 when you run them. So 1 through 6, and as you can see on this side of the screen, how it's written up. So you have to have an opening tag and a closing tag. What's the difference is the closing tag has a, how's that classified as a backslash, right? Forward slash. I always forget the differences. So you have a forward slash at the beginning of the ending tag. That's really the only difference. That's it. And so you have an opening and a closing. You have to have a closing. If you don't have a closing, it really, just put simply to understand, it just won't work. It might work for some weird things, but it just won't work. It's the best way to think of it. All right. Inside of HTML tags, as we all probably know, you have to have a body. So that's what this is right here. And all of your HTML code has to go inside of the body. So the body goes down a little bit lower there. But you have to have it inside of a body, or else the HTML won't work.
Code's got a pretty hot body.
What can I say? It's my code. All right. There's not much, but
Well,
the size of it is a little different.
was I talking to you about the CSS resets yesterday?
Probably.
Okay. So basically, so I don't know, you might not have heard Kaku, but basically, every browser comes with a built-in style sheet, so that when you don't actually add any CSS, it still styles your text and everything for you. So that's why you're seeing different sizes. What a CSS reset does is it basically removes all of the default style sheet stuff, and if you were to do that, all of those headings would look exactly the same. So the actual, yeah, they would all look exactly the same. You actually have to style each heading differently to make them look different. CSS reset? Yeah, that was something that Brother Robertson would have taught in CSS 230. And so there's a bunch of different types of resets out there. I generally just reset margin, border, and padding and stuff. But basically, what's up? Well, that is part of the style, but I don't generally reset like text and stuff, but occasionally I do, it just kind of depends. It's honestly a good idea to reset as much as you possibly can. The reason for that is you want your page to look identical from one browser to the next. You need to reset everything and set everything explicitly in your CSS, because each browser has a slightly different default style.
So that's why we said happen when you open the web page?
If you set it up to do so, yes. When it loads your CSS, it would load your reset as well, and it would turn everything basically to 0. Not to say that you can't see your text, but it nullifies everything, so it's just very, very basic text and everything. So the kind of the interesting realization I came to with HTML elements and tags and whatnot is that most of them, basically almost all of them, are all semantic. They almost all do the same thing. They're just an enclosure for some text, basically. You impose semantic meaning on the element by attaching styling or behavior with JavaScript. So in and of themselves, they don't mean anything by themselves, but the meaning is used later by JavaScript or by assistive technologies and CSS, that type of thing. So yeah, sorry, I just thought I'd share that if you guys didn't know.
That makes sense. Yeah. That I actually didn't know just about any of that, to be honest. All right, so as you can see on the right-hand side, one thing that's kind of interesting that I think is actually header 6 is actually smaller than paragraph. That's kind of how it default is, but it helps to have differences when you have a big thing and you have a different header. As we learned in 230, you don't have a header 6 above a header 2. Kind of concept. Like if you're going to have a new header inside of, let's say you have a header 1 And inside of there, if you're going to have another header to emphasize something else that's a part of it, just like in a textbook chapter, and then it has different headings, you're going to want to do a lower number, a lower heading number. You can't do a higher one because the larger the number is, the more important it is than the previous one.
So if I think the header one has, is too big, so then I should change the style, change the size of that, and still use header one.
Well, what he's talking about is the semantic value of each of those. So if kind of pretend like the styling doesn't exist and you're just looking at the code by itself. It's a hierarchy. So basically, each one, H1s have to be at the top. H2s have to be nested within H1s. You don't have to put an H2 inside underneath an H1. In fact, an H1 doesn't need to exist. You can go straight for an H2 if you want. But that's semantically a bad idea. You want to, if it's the first heading that you're doing in the page, you want to use an H1. If you're going to be using a second heading that's nested, that's underneath heading 1, then you want to use header 2, and so on and so forth, nesting them down.
So yeah, so if I don't like the size, I can just change
And then the
size.
size later, yeah, you can change.
Okay.
And you can make the size of header 2 way bigger than header 1.
Yeah.
But semantic value, yeah, you want to keep it like that, otherwise your page won't validate.
And one other thing also I forgot to mention is here on the top, title, it appears page title right here that I have written here. Now, you don't see it all on the page, but it's actually up here where page title appears. And so if you want something to appear, for example, when you see right here, it says HTML5 tag/Google. In a sense, that is the title of that page. And so that is why it's stuck up there inside of that. All right. Now, from everywhere that I could see, when it comes to putting a video inside of like this inside of here, it's highly recommended to do it inside of an iframe. Now, an interesting thing with this is everywhere that I kept looking to try and figure this all out, I figured out the code, and I was like, all right, so I just have to change the website address. But every time I kept trying to do that, to be honest, it never actually worked for me. And so what I had to do is go to the YouTube page, and if you go to share, click on embed, it has this exact code. You just copy and paste over. That's what I did. Now, when I was on W3 Schools, which of course a lot of people don't recommend, but I like it because it has a lot of good stuff. It gave me the basic iframe code, and I was trying to change the website, and it wasn't working for me. Now, do you guys possibly know why? I can show it to you if you want me to.
Well, first thing I want to probably bring up is it's actually anymore with HTML5, they want you to not use iframes anymore. As they're going forward with HTML5 and they're developing more and more, they're creating specific semantic tags that are specific to these types of things. The reason why Google still uses an iframe is so that it's more backwards compatible with older browsers that are that type of thing, or if you're writing your page in HTML4 that doesn't have those types of tags. So iframe is more of the word I'm looking for. Where two things have to be the same. I'm not thinking the word, but I think you guys know what I'm talking about. It needs to be supported on all the older things too, up to a certain point. I'm just not thinking the word for right now for some reason. So basically, what an iframe does, it allows you to put a web page within another web page. Basically, it's just like a little mini web browser kind of in a way. What BrainHoney uses is BrainHoney on the like when you actually go to the course thing, you have like the course listing on the side, and you have an actual window that displays the thing. That thing on the right is actually an iframe. But again, lots of places recommend now. Well, any places that are advocating HTML5 will recommend you don't use iframe, you maybe use something else. But,
like an object or embed?
I'm not sure what they would recommend if you were actually putting another web page within another web page. But for what Google's doing here is, I mean, if you were just putting like an actual video itself, you should be using the video element which you have just below it. I don't know how to set that up because Google doesn't even show you because they're currently using iframe still. But as far as why the iframe was working when you were putting a new page in, are you able to show us possibly by maybe making a really basic page and see what it does?
Well, I was just going to go to the W3 Schools.
Oh, did they have like a little tester?
Yeah, they had a test report.
By the way, most of the iframe stuff that I told you was actually pretty much direct quote from Charlie Robinson. So he basically he'll get an attitude at you if he sees you use an iframe. What's up? You're up to him.
Yeah, we use the video and
Yeah, he's not good at using current on old stuff, so he keeps up with that stuff. And yeah, he doesn't want to go and see any deprecated
how do you use the iPhone for in the on video?
Well, it kind of depends. You're supposed to use the video element if you're
See,
editing on videos.
Here's the interesting thing is though, when I try and go to it, it makes it act like I have to have the video on my computer.
Well, see,
And I try and put a like the YouTube video in here or stuff, and I couldn't get it to work.
that's possibly another reason why they're still using the iframe is because, like the little YouTube video that you see, its own little web page, kind of. Because so they actually have like a little little control bar and everything underneath the video. But I think you can impose those same things on a video element. As far as I know, they don't do that yet.
Where is it? Okay, yeah, right here. It's just like this, and I try and this appears.
Yeah.
And I go and try and change the website. Let's say to the website that I have here.
I don't think we have to use technically anything specifically that we're running in projects, but well,
Just show
I'm sorry, I take that back. You have to use it in some project if you want to get 2 degrees, and you have to use it if you want to get 2 degrees. So yeah, basically I misled just now. I lied to you. Yes, 2 degrees if you want to get 2 degrees.
And so I have it in here. I click see results. Hey, you were not working an hour ago.
Try a different website, like try Google. No, like actually in the editor right there. Like go back and then remove the YouTube thing and type Google in there instead. Instead of the YouTube link.
Well, it's supposed to be. Oh, okay.
Yeah, inline frame. So is that what you were saying when you were trying it earlier?
Yeah, it just appeared like this.
Yeah, no, I really don't use iframes. I'm not familiar enough with their functionality, so I have to look that up.
Sure.
Now that won't work in the same way that the Google won't work.
Why? Because that's.
It's because what the okay. So click the see result, and I'll show you why. Now go back to the embed code on YouTube, and then look at the URL that they give you. It's a different web page that's actually designed differently. So what I'll actually have to do is go to embed. Okay, now copy that link out, not the whole line.
Yeah, that's what I had to do. That's the only way I was able to get that to actually work. That's what I was saying.
Well, yeah, grab everything from HTTPS to the end of the 2 capital L. So copy that out, stick that actually in a new tab. Yeah, basically right there. Copy that.
New tab?
Yeah, press enter. Or I'm sorry, copy this and then press enter. So this is actually a brand new page that Google has designed specifically for embeds in iframes. So the whole page is the video player. And it's designed to deal with it with the iBet. I don't know why other websites aren't working with it, but that's the reason why you have to use that as opposed to just putting the full link in. If you put the full link in, it'd show you related things, it'd show you comments, as opposed to just the video at once.
Got it. Huh? Orlando, Florida.
Actually, is it? Because Kevin Hart was in Phoenix for the Super Bowl.
So listen to this.
That's an old video.
It's probably an old one, but
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so I can see what you go. You just stay with the little girl, and I was wondering if this was a video from the Super Bowl night. The
Yeah.
bumper that That's where I live. I live in Tucson. I could have gone to the Super Bowl. Well, I could have been by it. The tickets were like $8,000. Yeah. Crazy expensive. Yeah, technically. Although that's very illegal. Scalping tickets.
Oh. All right, so back to what we were talking about here. All right, so next thing that I tried to do here, because I thought it was really cool, but I actually wasn't able to get it to work, to be completely honest with you. So, okay, well, first off, back to what we were talking about real quickly. So you have it, I had it in iframe. The width is how long it's going to be, the height is how high it's going to be, and the frame. And so this was just a quick one that I am stuck inside of it because it's funny and everyone likes it. Now, the rest of the code that I stuck down here in the video, and I also stuck some JavaScript up here. What I was trying to do is what this guy actually it's gone. Okay. What this guy.
First tab in that left window. Or I'm sorry, the right window is that first tab.
Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah. Is what this guy was talked about in his website here, and so he had some HTML up here on the top, a video, a button, and canvas, and he had some JavaScript to go with it, listener, and a lot of different things. And then down here was this little event listener. And so what I tried to do is try to do what he did here, where it's going to, of course, ask you if it can use the camera. And what it does here is it's using your camera and showing you what's there. So what I tried to do and wasn't able to figure out how to get it to truly work right. And there's actually a snap photo button right here. So I take a picture and it appears right here. Yes, this is definitely something that we could do in our project. Now my problem is at the moment that I couldn't figure out though, is when I did my code from his website right here, it's just davidwalsh.names browser-camera. Like he has pretty much all the code right here, but I couldn't figure out how to get it working right, to be honest.
So what the two websites are, I was actually just I was want to test it out on my
It just this one right here. That's the end of it.
And then what's
David
the
Walsh.
other one?
Oh, if actually on that web page, if you just click view demo,
Oh, okay, so it's all the same thing. Okay.
it's all the same thing. So this is definitely something I think would be kind of cool or great to stick in our program or app that we end up doing. But the main thing I just couldn't figure out is how to fully get it working right in HTML when I was working on it.
Try it on my phone. I'm curious to see if it works. Yeah, so you know how you make fun of me for my tabs?
Yeah.
Well, you don't even want to know how many I keep open on my phone too.
That is horrible for a phone.
Actually, it's okay, but I mean, because Chrome actually only renders each tab at a time. So it actually is okay, but at the same time, it's bad in my brain. That's really honest. That's where it's bad.
Wow.
Works.
Cool.
Yeah, so I just saw it also works on the phone too.
Oh no!
Taco, you got chocolate.
Taku eats too many tacos.
I gotta go and see you.
Okay, well, that is pretty much all I have. One thing I think would be great is for us to fully figure out how it can work better, so we can possibly stick it in our app and have it be able to use the phone's camera, or also possibly on it. I definitely those are kind of the main things I wanted to talk about today. Having the video work on a website or in an application, and also the different, just kind of the basic different tags. All right, so that's the main thing that I wanted to talk about today.
I will very likely be messing with that code tomorrow.